Okay, so this here is the sheet describing the fertilizers that we are using at various stages of the tomato plant growth and when they are applied in like weeks, in terms of like at which week, and the amount of pound per acre per week. Now, when you look at a recommendation on a fertilizer, usually they tell you that recommendation in terms of N, because everything else, the phosphorus and the potassium, follows that, but you base your recommendation. So when we say 5 pounds of N per acre, which is using this fertilizer, which is 11% N, you are also applying 45% of 5 pounds of phosphorus and also 11% of 5 pounds of potassium. Okay, nobody gives you a recommendation of all three. You get the recommendation for N and which fertilizer to use. Now, a homeowner uses products like Miracle Grow, tomato fertilizer, that's fine. But commercial growers, with research done by many universities and over many years, we found that the plant needs different fertilizers at different stages of growth. So, for example, if you look closely, we apply 11, 45, 11 once or twice, like 1 or 2 weeks before planting. Why are we using this kind of fertilizer? Well, you see phosphorus is very high. 11, 45, 11. This is what we call a starter fertilizer because phosphorus helps roots develop and give strength to the roots. Because remember, if NPK to me it means leaves, roots, fruits. Or as one homeowner told me, NPK is understood as up, down, and all around. So phosphorus is for roots. Whether you are growing a rooting crop or you have a transplant and you want to encourage roots to grow, you put a lot of phosphorus. So this is a starter fertilizer, once or twice early, and then you never use it again. During the vegetative stage, which lasts anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of year, when the plant is actively growing and maybe has the beginning of some flowers, but you don't see any fruits yet, you see we are using a balanced fertilizer, 20-20-20. You want plenty of nitrogen for the leaves to grow because you're actively growing leaves, still feeding the roots, but definitely a lot less than the pre-plant. And plenty of potassium because it's all around. You want the health of the plants and future flowers not to abort and all that. And notice now when we switch to the fruiting stage, now we are switching to a fertilizer that's 8, 12, 40. The 8 is for nitrogen. It dropped dramatically from 20 to 8. We have foliage, but we don't want more foliage. We want to give the plants enough nitrogen to continue the health of existing foliage. And we don't want any more roots to grow. We have established plants, but we want to keep the plants and the roots alive. That's why we're still giving them nitrogen and fertilizer, but less amounts than 20-20-20. But look at the potassium, now it's 40. You want the developing fruits to be healthy and develop and not abort and all this. Remember, NPK, leaves, roots, fruits. So during the original stage, pre-plant, we're giving a lot of phosphorus with the starter fertilizer. In the vegetative, we're giving it a balanced fertilizer, equal amount for all three, because we want to have all three, leaves, roots, and fruits, happy. But when it comes to the fruiting stage, I want this to be more than these two. I don't want more leaves. I'm wasting fertilizer if I still give it 20-20-20. I mean, homeowner, doesn't matter. You have 1 or 2 or a couple of raised beds, no problem. Your cost is minimal. But you have a tomato grower with 1,000 acres, that from 20-20-20 to 8-12-40 is a big difference in cost and an amount of fertilizer that you really don't need, but you are still using. So 8-12-40 is a great fertilizer during the fruiting stage, because now you are adding enough potassium to feed the fruits and keep them healthy, but still a little bit of N and phosphorus to keep the leaves and roots alive and functioning properly. But notice, to avoid blossom end rot, we are starting to add also calcium nitrate. You see calcium nitrate at every week, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? And calcium, to avoid the possibility of blossom end rot. All right? Now keep in mind that those two are not mixed and applied at the same time, because the calcium can react with the phosphorus and settle, precipitate. So you apply 8-12-40, and then next day you apply calcium nitrate separately, or maybe 5 hours later or 2 hours later, whatever. Definitely not in the same tank. So this is a brief description of the fertilization, proper fertilization. If you like to follow it, contact me and I can send you a copy of this. Now, when you add up pound per acre per week, you add them up. This is about 75 pounds of N per season, which is this treatment. The experiment we are doing this year at the Dallas Center, we are evaluating 4 treatments, from between 75, 113, 150, and 188 pound of N per acre. So this one here showing you the rates per acre per week for the 75 pounds of N. For the 113, these two don't change too much. It is these here that during the growing season that are higher, so that the higher amount add up to this number or this number or this number. Follow us on these videos and we'll see the progress of this trial. Enjoy!